Ranking every iPhone Pro ever made by Apple. Yes, I'm gonna rank every single iPhone Pro ever introduced by Apple, from the 11 Pro all the way to the new 17 Pro. We're gonna look at the design and some important changes for each generation. And then in the end, I'm gonna rank every iPhone Pro with you. And I'd love to hear what your favorite iPhone Pro was. You can already share that in the comments. Now let's start by ranking every Pro iPhone. Here they are, all the iPhone Pro models ever introduced by Apple. We have the 11 Pro here, introduced in 2019, 2020 for the 12 Pro, 2021 for the 13 Pro, 2022 for the 14 Pro, 2023 for the 15 Pro, 2024 for the 16 Pro, and 2025 for the 17 Pro. So I'm going to rank all these Pro models from my point of view, the best looking and designed iPhone Pro, all the way from the worst one. So we're gonna have a ranking from 1 to 7, 7 being the worst one and 1 being the best designed iPhone Pro. So yeah, I'm gonna briefly go through all the Pro models and briefly cover what they changed, what was important at that specific model, and then in the end we're gonna make the ranking. And I'm really curious to hear also what your favorite Pro iPhone is. Share it with us in the comments. Yeah, let's start with the iPhone 11 Pro, the first Pro model ever introduced by Apple. It was also the first to introduce a triple camera system on the back. A lot of fun was made about that it really looked like this stovetop with the 3 lenses like that. It was also the first introducing this matte frosted glass in the back. Really pleasing and a subtle touch. We got these nice rounded edges coming from the iPhone XS, and this iPhone was made from stainless steel and came in this gorgeous midnight green finish. Overall, an amazing first introduction of the whole Pro lineup. And then next up, the iPhone 12 Pro coming in this gorgeous Pacific blue finish that was the exclusive color. And we completely went to the iPhone 4, 5 era with the hard flat edges. So we're familiar with that on the iPhone 4 and the 5. So that was a big change compared to the 11 Pro, as we can see here. And for some people, this was not the right change. For some people, it brought really back these nostalgic times from the iPhone 4 and 5. Also, we got the introduction of the LiDAR scanners that was not available on the 11 Pro. Overall, this iPhone was received really well. Gorgeous blue finish. And talking about blue, we got the iPhone 13 Pro in Sierra blue. I think this is a fan favorite. This color, this baby blue color, some people call it, was extremely popular and still is. Again, the triple camera system got even bigger. We have the LiDAR scanner, same flat edged design, and it was slightly thicker and heavier, which is a trend we were seeing overall in the whole Pro evolution. It was also the first iPhone to introduce Pro Motion, which actually now is available on all the models. And according to some, this was actually peak design iPhone. I think Johnny Ive still had a lot to say about the 13 Pro, how it was designed, and definitely one going inside of our top 3. Next up, more or less a similar design as the iPhone 13 Pro is the 14 Pro. Even bigger camera bumps than the 13 Pro. The same flat edge design coming in this gorgeous deep purple finish. One of my personal favorites. I actually am a massive fan of purple, the color, and this color was absolutely gorgeous. Again, it also got slightly heavier than its predecessor, and it also introduced the dynamic island on the display and always on. This is one of my personal favorites, the 14 Pro in this deep purple finish. Next, let's go to a big switch in material that was introduced on the 15 Pro. We went from stainless steel to titanium on these models. This is the natural titanium one, and one of my favorite changes here is the fact that Apple went to a more like a squared off flat edge design compared to the hard edges on the 14, 13 and 12 Pro. Obviously the change from stainless steel to titanium was a very big step. We still have this massive triple camera system. The bumps are a little bit less noticeable in my opinion on the 15 Pro compared to the 14 Pro. We also now got the introduction of the action button here, which is customizable, but overall, yeah, the biggest change in design here is going from stainless steel to titanium. And titanium also was still available on the 16 Pro. This is the space black version. It's not the unique color. I don't have it on the regular Pro, but I do have it on the 16 Pro Max, the bigger, broader. And this was the desert titanium finish. And actually the biggest design change here was the fact that we got the camera control button on this side here. A lot of people were complaining about this not being that kind of an interesting feature. I actually use it every single day to just launch the camera and use visual intelligence, but coming from a 15 Pro, that's basically the biggest change that there was. And lastly, the one that really stands out, not only because of its color, but also because of the biggest design change when it comes to the camera, is the new 17 Pro. We can immediately see some massive changes in design here. First of all, we have this camera plateau, so where the LiDAR scanner, the microphone and the flash are now moved to the right, creating this plateau design. Next, you can also see a difference for the first time on the back between the housing material and really the ceramic shield back. This is done for multiple reasons. For example, wireless charging goes better, probably also with regards to durability. And as we can see here, Apple went from titanium to aluminum here for several reasons, not only to create this new color, but also for durability reasons and performances. Aluminum is a better material for heat distribution. So yeah, Apple went for aluminum there, and we can see the edges are really nice and soft. Almost reminds me a little bit of going back to the 11 Pro. So yeah, the 17 Pro really holds nicely in the hand compared to the more hard edges on the 16 Pro, 15 Pro and older. And we still have the action button and camera control here. You can see that the 17 Pro is really the outlier in the whole Pro lineup. Now it's time to rank all the models. So for me, on number one, when we look at design, the one that is in the last place is the iPhone 16 Pro. Not a big change compared to the iPhone 15 Pro. The only big design change here was the camera control. So we're gonna put it on the 7th spot here on the left. Then number 6 for me is actually the iPhone 15 Pro. Again, not a big change in design, not for me the best color, natural titanium. It's bland and pretty minimal, and maybe the big plus here was the switch from stainless steel to titanium. So the iPhone 15 Pro, in my opinion, gets the 6th spot here. Then on to number 5. For me, that is personally the iPhone 17 Pro. Unfortunately, the new model looks absolutely interesting with this plateau on the back. Not personally the biggest fan of this change in design, color, in material being used. Would be great if there's just one beautiful uniform design here on the back. I am a massive fan though of the flat edges, and for me aluminum is okay. So the iPhone 17 Pro comes in at the 5th spot. Then ranked 4th for me is the iPhone 12 Pro, and this might spark some controversy, but I think the iPhone 12 Pro was nice. I love the blue finish. I love the idea to go back more to the iPhone 5, iPhone 6 design. However, for me personally, it was between the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro. The color, I'm a massive purple fan, so for that reason I'm going to put the iPhone 12 Pro on the 4th spot. And then next up, our top 3. I think you can guess already what spot number 3 will be, and that is the iPhone 14 Pro. I'm a massive purple fan. It was also Steve Jobs' favorite color. I really love this 14 Pro. I love the design. I love the color. For me, the bigger bumps is not an issue. Also, the change to dynamic island was interesting for me. I actually love it. Personally, I will put the purple iPhone 14 13 Pro in the third spot. And lastly, between our two final picks, who is number one and who is number two? All right, so for me, a number one is a Sierra Blue iPhone 13 Pro. I think this is really peak design Apple, peak design iPhone. I think a lot of you can confirm this as well. Gorgeous finish. I actually love the subtle blue design. Triple camera system is fine. The edges, they don't matter that much when you have just such a good looking device, such a beautiful iPhone. Minimal bumps on the camera. So this one will go in spot number one. And obviously the iPhone 11 Pro was the introduction of the Pro lineup. I loved the rounded edges. I loved the introduction of the triple camera system. Yeah, it was just a big change and the start of the whole Pro revolution. So that's why the iPhone 11 Pro gets a second spot. So yeah, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts about my ranking. Last place for the iPhone 16 Pro. Second to last for the iPhone 15 Pro. On spot number 5, we have the new iPhone 17 Pro. In fourth, we get the iPhone 12 Pro. Third spot for the iPhone 14 Pro. Second spot, we have the iPhone 11 Pro. And on spot number 1 is the 13 Pro. I'd love to hear your thoughts about my ranking. Do you agree with me or don't you agree at all with me? Share it with us in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Peace.